Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's Weather with Jonathan here, back again with another weather forecast. In this video, we'll be talking about a lot of ththings, so let's jump straight into the forecast. So, starting off with our storms here, because we have a multi-day severe weather outbreak about to start this Monday, and in fact, we do have a slight risk today, a moderate risk tomorrow, a slight risk Tuesday, and another slight risk Wednesday, with the possibility of some of these slight risks becoming an enhanced risk. And tomorrow we have the potential of numerous severe thunderstorms, and they're expected to develop and move eastward Monday afternoon through Monday night across portions of south central plains. And multiple strong, potentially long track tornadoes could happen across Oklahoma and Kansas tomorrow. And very large to absolutely giant hail is possible, and the SPC has said all of this. And severe to damaging winds appear likely. So this is a very, very big storm here, especially for tomorrow. And some people are talking about this being a high risk. I don't think it'll be a high risk. Just so you guys know, I do not think this will be a high risk. But I mean, personally, I think there is a 5% chance of this becoming a high risk. I do not think it is likely. I think it's just going to be just stay a moderate risk for the time being, and I think they're going to move it a tiny bit northward and a tiny bit eastward, and so that's why we got to jump straight into this forecast here. And I think Tuesday may get upgraded to an enhanced risk. So you can see here, on the GFS here right now, we have a big system coming in from the west, and I believe this is what's going to be starting our big tornado outbreak in the plains. But as you can see here, we have another little system down here in the south, and that's what's going to be starting this whole severe weather too. But this will move out of the way into the southeast by, I want to say, this evening. But as you can see here, we have multiple storms going on in Texas here. These will be pretty strong, actually, this evening. And like I said, there are also just a lot of storms going on in Texas, especially near a Fort Worth, Dallas region this afternoon. And these storms will be worst in southern Texas, around San Antonio, western San Antonio. But as you can see here, tomorrow morning, 5 a.m., we're probably going to have almost like a snow squall going through the Rocky Mountains here in western Colorado. This could actually lead to maybe a few flurries of snow in Denver. But as you can see here, this is around 11 a.m. This is when we're going to have our first storm starting to pop up in southern Nebraska, central Kansas actually, and western Oklahoma. And then you can see these storms will intensify. And when I say intensify, I mean 975 millibar low pressure center or system. This is big. I haven't seen that in a while. I mean, I've seen it with snowstorms and hurricanes, but I haven't seen that in a while. And then this looks like some pretty strong storms here. Honestly though, for the Oklahoma City region, I wouldn't expect too many storms actually though, based on what I've been seeing with the HRRR. I'll show you that in a minute. But these storms will kind of just get into like a big cluster of storms as we head into Tuesday. Then we'll have some severe storms ranging from about Texas to Illinois, and then same thing for Wednesday. I think Wednesday will be a little bit worse, especially in like Arkansas and Kentucky and Indiana. This could be a little worse actually. And then it's going to be relatively quiet until about the 13th here, or the 12th. That's where we're going to have just kind of a lot of storms just popping off across pretty much the entire US here. And I'm not really surprised that we're seeing this, especially because we're in May and we're kind of we're getting to summer here. So I'm not really surprised we're seeing a whole bunch of activity, especially because the next 4 days are a slight risk or higher. And also, it is definitely getting warm because we have a critical risk of fire today, tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday also. And then I believe we have an elevated risk potentially for Thursday. So that's a lot to talk about. Now, getting to the HRRR here, because this is going to be what we're going to see most of our storms with here. Um, this is the runtime is 12Z, May 5th. I almost said May 15th, Cinco de Mayo. But as you can see here, this is where our storms are gonna be popping off in Texas today. And honestly, I know there's a slight risk, you guys, but this is a very low threat. I mean, at the like honestly, at the most, we'd probably get like a few damaging winds here and there, or hail, mostly hail though. And then you can see here a snow squall in Colorado here. If you look up here, you can see our kind of squall. It's going to transition from rain to snow in eastern Utah and western Colorado and portions of south central Wyoming um, between 8 p.m. tonight and the morning tomorrow. And like I said, we could expect a few flurries in Denver. But as you can see here, now we have a few showers and storms popping up around 10 a.m. on the 6th tomorrow. And then you can see here, these storms are getting a lot stronger. And then, look, you can see this is extending way more south here. And now look, and this is the thing. I know you can't see too well. This is kind of a line of storms, but what I see in this is I do see multiple embedded supercells, which is what I am concerned for the potential of tornadoes. And then you can see here, this is where I'm really starting to get concerned because now these storms are becoming more discreet, especially in our moderate risk area, because seeing that this is our moderate risk area, these storms are starting to intensify and become more discreet, and this is what's gonna cause the biggest tornado threat. And actually, these storms do look kind of concerning, even though they look pretty small. But that's what I was saying here. Oklahoma City, even though you're in a moderate risk, I don't see a whole lot happening for you right here on the HRRR model right now. I'll have to give you an updated look later tonight. But honestly, as we head into the nighttime hours, as these storms kind of bow into a line, actually a few more supercells might actually pop up on the southern side in eastern Oklahoma City, and actually there is still a tornado threat with that. And then this will just become kind of a cluster of storms and a line of storms heading into Missouri, Illinois, and southern Iowa, and into portions of northern Arkansas on Tuesday, May 7th. This is where we have our slight risk in effect. And now let's look at the NAM 3K model. So looking at the NAM 3K model here, this will give you kind of a better look at just like the storms in general here. So you can see here, not much activity going on across south central Texas. I don't really know why we have a slight risk. I think it's just going to be for mainly small hail here. But as you can see here, this is what the NAM 3K model is showing, and this is for 12 p.m. May 6th here. This is kind of showing our storms popping up a little earlier, actually, around like 9 a.m. I will probably end up going live around 12 p.m. Oh wait, I just remembered I have school. I can't go live, and I have soccer tryout, so I can't go live in the evening tomorrow. I really wish I could. But as you can see here, these storms are starting to get more intense, but they're kind of forming into a bowing line in Kansas. But then you can see here, we have a few discrete storms popping up in southern Oklahoma here. And these are moving eastward, and they're kind of just going to form a bowing line from according to the NAM 3K model, around 8, 9, 10 p.m. But then just to look at our storms here on the 7th, I don't see a whole lot of activity. I see a few showers and storms popping up, but I don't see a whole lot of activity for that. And now let's look at the outlook. So now looking at our severe weather outlook for Monday, May 6th, 2024. I couldn't get an outlook for today because I couldn't figure out how to change the regions, and it wouldn't show up on the map. So as you can see here, we have a moderate risk, a level 4 out of 5 on our severe scale here for portions of south central Kansas and central Oklahoma. And this will include places like Wichita, Kansas, and Oklahoma City. And then we have a level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for portions of southeastern and southern Nebraska, central and eastern Kansas, and central Oklahoma. This will include places like Tulsa, Oklahoma, Topeka, Kansas, and Hastings, Nebraska. And then we have a slight risk, level 2 out of 5, the yellow here, for Omaha, Nebraska, Des Moines, Iowa, Kansas City, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, and that's basically all the cities in the slight risk. And then our marginal risk, you don't need to worry about this. And if you're in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, St. Louis, Missouri, North Platte, Nebraska, and Little Rock, you're almost in this marginal risk, but it's kind of fine if you're in this marginal risk, because I wouldn't expect a whole lot. But honestly, with this moderate risk currently, I'd expect this to shift like the tiniest bit eastward and a tiny bit northward, given the fact that I feel like more of our ingredients are going to be on the more northward side. Like most of our ingredients will be down here, but there won't be a whole lot of storms down there based on what I've been seeing. But there will be a lot of storms to the west of Wichita, Kansas, and I'm actually seeing pretty favorable conditions on the map for severe weather. And I will show you another HRRR run with College of DuPage weather in just a minute. So now looking at our tornado outlook here, you can see we have a 15 to 29% hatched risk, or just a 15% hatched risk. And boy, we could get strong to violent tornadoes, and they could be potentially long track across portions of central Oklahoma and south central Kansas here. You can see this will also include Wichita, Kansas, and Oklahoma City. That's where our greatest tornado potential will be. And then Topeka, Tulsa, yeah, those cities, you guys are still in a 10% hatch risk for tornadoes. Hastings, Nebraska, you're only in a 5% risk. Omaha, Nebraska, 5% risk. Des Moines, Iowa, 5% risk. Kansas City, Missouri, 5% risk. And Springfield, Missouri, 5% risk. But there will still be the potential for tornadoes in that 5% risk. And even in that 2% risk, I don't see any cities in that 2% risk. But this will be a very big day for tornadoes nonetheless. So now looking at our severe wind outlook for Monday, May 6, 2024. As you can see here, we have just a 30% hatch risk. This is still pretty strong in terms of wind, but you can see our hatch risk 30% will be for Topeka, Kansas, and Wichita, Kansas. And Kansas City, Missouri will be included in this 15% risk, but they are also under the hatch risk for severe wind. And then just in our 30, just our general 30% risk, we have Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma City. And then in our 15% risk, we have Hastings, Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, Des Moines, Iowa, and Springfield, Missouri. And then anywhere outside of that, you're going to be in probably a 5% risk. But honestly, wind is definitely not our main threat for Monday. tornadoes and hail will probably be our main threat, and that's why we got to look at the hail outlook. So now looking at our hail outlook once again for Monday, May 6, 2024. As you can see here, we have a 45% hatched risk. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a very big day for hail and tornadoes. But this hatched risk is a little larger actually. We have a hatched risk, a 45% hatched risk for Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and Wichita, Kansas, then a 30% hatched risk for Hastings, Nebraska. And Tulsa, you're almost in that 15% hatched risk. Same with Utopeka. Omaha, you're in just a 15%. North Platte, Nebraska, you're almost in that 15% risk for wind or hail. And then Kansas City, you're in a 5% risk for the hail. So now looking at our severe weather outlook for Tuesday, May 7th. This is going to be the start of our multi-day severe weather outbreak. Actually, more on Monday will be the start of this. But as you can see here, we have another slight risk. And this will be for portions of the southeastern Midwest and the Ozarks region. And into parts of the Appalachian Mountains here. Charleston, West Virginia, you will be included in the slight risk. Columbus, Ohio, you will. Cincinnati, Ohio. Indianapolis, Indiana. Louisville, Kentucky. Jackson, Kentucky. Paducah, Kentucky. Nashville, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee, and Little Rock, Arkansas. You will all be included in the slight risk, and then anywhere on the outside of this, you will be included in the marginal risk. And then this is just the general thunderstorms here. But it's going to be pretty active, and we still have one more day of severe weather to cover. So now looking at our severe weather outlook for Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. As you can see here, we have another slight risk, and this is where I think it could actually get upgraded to an enhanced risk. This is even larger. This is going to include Tulsa, Oklahoma, Springfield, Missouri, Little Rock, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, Huntsville, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee, Paducah, Kentucky, St. Louis, Missouri, Springfield, Illinois, Indianapolis, Indiana, Cincinnati, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Louisville, Kentucky, Jackson, Kentucky, and Knoxville, Tennessee. You guys will all be included in this, and actually Dallas and Fort Worth, you will be included in this, in Texas. This is a very big multi-day severe weather outbreak. I think it will start to stop around Thursday and Friday, but I think we may have a marginal risk, maybe even a slight risk on Thursday, but not too much to expect for Thursday and Friday. So now looking at just one more thing here, kind of like our dynamics for the storm here. As you can see, this is just a different HRRR model. You can see here these storms firing off in Kansas and Oklahoma. This is going to be basically the same thing as what all the other models have been showing. This is just what the College of DuPage Weather. But what I want to point out is our average cloud cover. So as you can see here, I'm going to change the color of this marker here. But as you can see here, you can see these storms here, and they're based on how it looks here. We have multiple pockets of sun out in front of these storms. Based on what I'm seeing here, you can see the sun here, the breakaway in the clouds, as these storms start firing off, and that's what will help to kind of just mature these storms actually. And as you can see here, there are pockets of sun in between these storms, and that's going to make these storms pretty bad because that sun kind of helps mature and gives it the storm more energy. So that's what I'm really concerned about. I don't think there will be a whole lot of sun, but there will be enough to make these storms mature. And our Cape values are also really high here, as you can see on the map. Cape values around Wichita, Kansas will be about 3,000 to 4,000. And in Oklahoma City, there will be about 4,000 4,500. Yeah, you heard me right. 4,500. And then our supercell composite, you can see here, around this time, this will be kind of our peak time here. As you can see, it's going to be almost off the charts here. We're at 35. I mean, that is a lot, especially around northern Oklahoma City. And then our significant tornado parameter, also basically off the charts here. Look, we got a 15 in Wichita, Kansas. Oh boy, we got a 20 in North Oklahoma City. Dude, it is almost going to be off the charts here. Yeah, we're getting about 10 to 20, which is basically off the charts here. You can see the maximum it can go to is 10. So these storms are going to be taking advantage of all this energy in the atmosphere here. And honestly, I think that this tornado threat will expand a little bit eastward from the severe weather for the severe weather outlook, honestly, because it's looking like they'll be pretty bad kind of eastward of Oklahoma City. And then also looking at our updraft helicity swath. This is kind of like showing our updrafts here. And as you can see, this is where the possibility of tornadoes is here. You see all these little lines. That's basically showing the possibility of a tornado here. So that is not good. And our temperatures are going to be pretty high. They're going to be around 85 near Oklahoma City. More going to be in the lower 80s, around 82, but temperatures could reach about 85. And then dew points around 71, which is pretty high. I mean, I've seen higher dew points, but that's pretty high for these storms, and that's honestly a lot. I mean, I've seen a high risk with this amount of dew points, and I'm not saying this will be a high risk. I'm just saying. But yeah, this day looks pretty bad tomorrow. So thank you guys for coming and watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for all the support lately. And please subscribe. We are so close to 100 subscribers. And I'm trying to hit it by the end of the day here. We're at 96. We just need 4 more subscribers. So please help me out. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you in my next video.